Hello and
I'm
welcome
coming.
back. Yeah. Okay. Hello and welcome back to Gamer's Tale. I'm Trent Yander. I'll be your dungeon master for this evening. We are three people down tonight, but the show must go on because we have a bunch of other crap that's coming up that I really don't want to have to put off and reschedule. So, rundown from what happened last time. We were encountered Grimly and Greer, two height challenged individuals that joined the party after having a fist fight on the side of the road on the way to Loburn. Grimly, elf of the stone, or an elf, a dwarf of the Stone Syndicate, managed to make his way into Gant Evos after following a raiding party from the mountains into the land from Surround. Greer, you're a halfling, right?
Yes.
Okay, I keep thinking you're a gnome for some reason. A halfling, a local of just south of Loburn, was making his way back to the city and came across the rest of the Forging the Onyx party. Most of them are actually not here tonight, so I will be reprising their roles, hopefully in a way that's believable, until I can ditch them in a closet somewhere. After they got a room in the Lonesome Night Inn, run by a Goliath, uh, and an interaction with Zulthar, our favorite Lord of the Nine Hells. Uh,
Mm.
favorite being
Where the
used.
halfling smacked him.
Was smacked by the halfling. They also were informed by Colburn Keg, uh, of some information that regarding Greer's people, actually. And they're going to find the contacts and interview them, for lack of a better term, tonight. So we'll pick up in the room after Frederick kind of just walked out of it. And he walks back in. The room is mostly open. The beds are large as to fit a Goliath of average stature. The rooms are the wall paint is a cool blue with large kind of baseboards of a really nice dark ridge wood.
So, do you guys want to go see him tonight, or do you guys want to wait till the morning and go see him?
Hmm. Uh,
Sorry, I was
I
reading over my notes.
I'd vote for morning personally. Wait, this is a secret organization. Maybe we should just go tonight then.
And what would I think would be the best time myself?
You're pretty sure that any time would actually be good, business hours especially, which given the times, I say it'd probably be about 8 or 9 o'clock at night by now, would be suspicious in and of itself.
Uh, we can go see him tonight, but we'll draw more attention to ourselves. I would suggest maybe tomorrow morning after the market's open.
Okay.
All right.
So, time for sleeping?
Yep.
I believe so.
Eat and sleep.
Alright.
Cast alarm. Just in case.
On what?
I'm alarmed.
The right, it's one touch point, right? Are there any windows here?
You
This
can do it
is,
across the door.
if I remember correctly, it requires a silver thread.
I don't have a silver thread, so never mind.
Well, it doesn't have to unless you're being strict on.
You have a components pouch, right? Or do you use a focus?
I thought I had used a focus, but I never actually figured out what my focus was gonna be. Let's see.
I'm pretty sure it could.
Casting magic the whole time.
I'm pretty sure it's your.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
pretty sure your focus is your tome,
Oh. Book of Shadows.
because that would make the most sense.
Oh, so no,
Arcane, but
it's
one arcane focus, 4 pounds.
I thought you had a staff that you used.
I do.
That
an
Plus
would
arcane
be a
focus can
focus
be
then,
anything.
wouldn't it?
Yeah. It could be a pimp pinky ring for all we care.
Like my warlock's focus is her wedding ring.
Okay. Well, because
Staff
I
ring.
had separated them.
So yeah, you've been
I have
casting with a
4-pound
focus.
arcane.
I would
Yeah,
say that
I have.
due to the nature of what alarm actually is, which is pretty much laser tripwire,
Yeah.
I would say you need something to create that laser tripwire. Now, I would say that if you had like 2 quartz crystals and set them up between 2 places, and they have a break the circuit between, I would say yeah. But since you don't have a components pouch, I'm going to say you would not be able to cast alarm over a certain area. You might be able to cast it on like a door
Okay.
or like one window, but if you wanted to cover a specific area, I would say no.
Okay, let's just cast alarm on the door then.
I'll notice that and I'll go, all right, I'll sleep underneath the window. Nobody's going to get by me.
Okay.
I'm already snoring in bed.
Right, there is one window. It's on the north side. And there's a series of windows out in the hall, but for the most part, there's one window.
I'm just going to take whichever bed is actually Goliath size.
That's all of them.
I think all of them. all of
Awesome.
them.
You
There's
don't want
plenty
to try
of
and
room in
climb
my
into
bed.
the fuckers.
Do you need up on the bed?
No, I'm good. I'm
These
just
bed-
going to sleep down here. Harder to see.
The beds are actually surprisingly low for Goliath beds.
I still plan on sleeping underneath the window so that way if anybody comes in, they'll step on me.
Drag the bed underneath the window.
I was literally about to suggest that. Like, I can move the bed for you.
No, I'm good. These beds are too soft.
Are you sure?
My bed's too hot.
I've slept
So
in
we
worse
have
at
to-
the monastery.
So we have to find the one that's just right.
No, the floor is just fine for me.
Okay.
Better than stone.
Mia Moira, like, she's about to say something else, but then just, alright. Just, are you sure? You'll be fine. Your back will be fine? Yes?
Yes, I'll be fine.
Right. Then she goes and sits in the bed, just looks at him for a second, like, but and then finally takes her armor off and lays down. She is a mom friend, god damn it.
Greer
Just
just
to make
curls
sure.
up in a little ball underneath the window. He's got a staff in his hand.
Oh yeah, I do take off my chain. I would have taken off my chain shirt because I don't have endurance because there's no feats in this game.
There are feats. They're just in the back.
You have to trade in a tribute upgrade for him.
Well, the Arms of an Angel plays as we look at Greer. Everyone else also prepares for bed.
That's hilarious. I'll
Sure.
take first watch.
For just $30 a day.
You don't have to sleep, right? You can take all the watches.
He
Yeah, I
can,
know.
but there's a small homebrew rule that he will have to at least take a nap for at least an hour, otherwise he'll go insane.
I'll look up. Wake me if you need a break.
Okay. Greer, I will. You can count on it, legitimately.
Is there anything you would like to do during the night?
Let's see. I haven't done any. Oh, I'll have to get prestidigitation ready. I haven't done any mixing in a long while. So, let's try to make some perfume while on watch.
Okay, very quickly, that's intelligence and dexterity rolls.
Why is it always perfume?
Would somebody, and I don't care who, tell me what else you can make with alchemist supplies besides alchemist fire, poison, or perfume, or soap?
As
Potions?
big as your mind can handle.
Healing potion.
What is that, a 1d4?
What?
Is that 1d4 healing potion?
I
Technically, you can make all of them if you had the right supplies, but I don't know how much supplies you actually have left from all the things
I
you've been
think
making.
it depends on your knowledge, actually, because each potion, to make a potion, I think you have to put in a certain spell into it. Unless that's not how potion making works.
Uh,
Five.
in 5e, well, going off of what we've been doing, generally it's the potion description, and there's a few other things where like you be able to make it. Like potions of giant strength have to have a sliver of giant's nail in it, which is
Yeah.
super gross that you have to drink that. Um,
Ugh.
Better than a giant's toe.
eh,
So you put the entire
Giant's
toe.
toenail.
toenail, yes.
No, giant's
Yeah.
toe. Just a toe.
This isn't
Skyrim.
This is not Skyrim.
Yes. So, pretty much, if you have the ingredients for it, you'll probably be able to make it or duff it, depending on your rolls. But
Okay,
like
so
the stuff that you have available for you for this alchemist set isn't going to be the stuff for super high level potions, and that's why
Okay,
it's
so-
generally just been perfume and other things.
Okay, so perfume, soap, acid, alk fire, and like what else?
What can you think of?
I could do healing potion, like a medium-sized healing potion, maybe.
Okay.
So that'd be like a 1d8.
I forgot exactly what
No.
medium. All right.
Medium
Medium
is-
potion of healing.
2d4 plus 2. No, it's
Oh.
probably more than that. That's. I think it's 3d4.
The compendium says 2d4 plus 2.
Okay, so it was.
Healing is 2d4 plus 2. Greater is 4d4 plus 4. Okay,
So
so
there you
let's start with the regular. Hold on. And
I will
see if
remind
can
you.
actually make it, because usually I duff it and then we get a hilarious result and I get nothing.
So I will remind you that this is your first time making a healing potion. Tread Scholar has made them previously, but DC is going to be pretty high because you're pretty much. I have an idea. Let's see if it works.
Yeah. That's why I said I was gonna get prestidigitation ready.
Oh,
Disadvantage.
no, just a higher DC.
You know how? But Butterfingers, man. You kind of start getting the leaves together and just kind of like, oh no, all over the floor, and then you take like the next 30 minutes cleaning up your expensive materials.
No, he doesn't. He has prestidigitation.
This is true.
And I would use it, damn it. Believe you me.
Well, your emotional toll is much higher than this, so that duffs this. It's like, ah.
So yeah, I want to try to continue to make that kind of jazz in the future to make it so I don't screw it up as often, which I think would be helpful to not screw up.
Of course, you critically fail on the first attempt.
But
It's par for the course.
Par for the course.
yeah, as much as I failed, I have like perfume, brown perfume water, dried up alchemist fire, dried up
Water.
poison, dried up anti-poison. I have a lot of failures here that I could probably
Maybe you shouldn't be
sell.
doing that.
Why are you still holding on to some of these?
Yeah,
Well,
like, throw
I
them
was
away,
just
dude.
wondering, like, what I could do with it. You never know when you needed some brown water. What can you use brown
I
water for?
don't want brown water, especially if it smells nutty.
No,
Austin Powers reference.
just no.
Sorry, I can't help you on that.
So,
Okay.
other than this,
Okay.
the night passes without incident.
Okay, so I would have woken Greer up gently to take a watch so I could nap for my hour and then get back.
And I'll be meditating during that time.
Okay.
to where I can still hear everything.
I'm snoring, like sawmill style.
So after Lundgren beats Greer with a stick to wake him up. No.
No.
After the change of watch, those of you who do wake up in the night still see the ominous shadow looming over Frederick as he sleeps.
Oh yeah. Forgot about that.
Tredscala is burritoed in his furs in the corner, looking for all the world like a giant sushi of hair. Brock is also snoring very loudly. It's a very loud room for sleeping quarters. As
I
the
might need to get some damn earmuffs.
potion of deafness. What?
Exactly.
Silence spells, that sort of thing.
So are pillows.
Can any of us cast those? I don't know if I can cast that. Silence.
I can knock them out.
I well, that just doesn't really help the sound. They are technically knocked out. I believe silence is a spell I can cast. I just have to prepare it.
All right.
All right, once the sun starts coming up, I'll start waking people up. For the snores, I'm just gonna kind of poke them with my staff.
Mara.
The sun begins to rise in the overcast skies that are now slowly filtering in over the city of Loburn.
I forgot. Is it summer?
It is summer,
Yeah.
Okay.
or it's spring or summer. It is not winter, and it seems to be the opposite season in game than it is in the real world. Because it takes so damn long.
I was mainly wondering because, yeah, me and Moira sleeps almost nothing. Because it's too fucking hot.
That's because you need a shave.
It's because she's from the fucking mountains where it snows all the time.
Aren't you like covered in fur?
No.
Oh, never mind.
She's not a Wookiee. She's I almost said kobold.
Furbolg.
She is.
Furbolg.
Oh, that's right,
Furbolg.
lizard person. My bad.
No, I'm a
No,
furbolg.
cow
Furbolg.
person, cow lady.
So, do you have an udder, or is it,
I mean, she has two, udders. Normal one.
Anyway,
Anyway.
the city begins to come alive again as people filter out to do their daily work, and the merchants start to flow in from the 3 city gates. Everything starts really bustling about 9 in the morning. I'm assuming you guys have taken your meal, either in the room or in the
Yes,
kind of done.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
will have went down and ordered food up to the room. And I'll look at him and go, we might not want to take this many people here with us. It won't really be all that stealthy if we do. Y'all
I don't
kind of
do
stand
stealth.
out around here.
I'm very good at stealth, Tredscala says from his furs. As he kind of caterpillars underneath one of the beds. See?
And he is very good at steps, but he also stands out.
So, what should I do while you guys are off playing Tiddlywinks?
Nah, I think you'll be fine. They see people like you guys, most of you guys around, but a big group of people is gonna get noticed, and we will be followed if we're too big of a group.
Tredscala just kind of reaches out an arm. How does one stand in?
I have been asking that my whole life, Tutskana.
It's a metaphor, Frederick says as he
So-
kind of swings out of bed.
So whoever wants to come, that's fine, but we need to probably leave some people back here. I'll let you guys decide. When you're ready, we'll go on out.
Well, since I'm short, I'll come with you.
I must commune with the skull cow.
Is it what?
The skull cow.
Is it what?
Skull Cow is the patron deity of the desert.
He is a
Like
nature
Tredscala's
spirit.
Been in communication with for a long time.
I would love to learn more about it. Another time.
Yes. Fridge just kind of shakes his head like, oh god, bite me. I'm going to go and reconnoiter the city. See some of the strong points and see what the people are like around here.
If I know of a few people to send them to talk to, I'll give them some names. They can talk.
Okay. You recommend a few people to Frederick. He kind of eats his breakfast and tosses on his cloak and leaves.
Didn't even say goodbye then.
Eats, shoots, and leaves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Treadskull has formed into a literal ball of hair in the corner as he begins his communion
panda.
rituals. Brock is just
No?
like, I don't know.
Nah.
Okay.
I'm still getting used to this whole group.
Nah, true. Okay.
It's even worse that I have to play 3 of them.
I know. But that's why I gave you your out. Of not having to play all of them.
Brock's like, yeah, I'm not too interested in meeting people unless they give me money, so I also kind of stand up myself and have a
You
bunch of
could go
tall
with
people.
Fredlik. Make sure he's okay.
Yeah, last time he went off by himself, he died, so
Yeah, we should go with him.
No,
I'll go with
Brock,
him.
Brock will go with him, and we will go with our little friend.
Sounds good.
Okay, so Brock and Frederick, and then Mia, me, and Greer
And Grimly.
Yes, I'll be leading you guys there.
and Grim. Okay. All right then.
I am
Alright,
simply calling
we'll
this a
head
little
out,
friend.
and
Calling
I'll,
the names.
We'll head out, and I will take them to where the minstrels gather.
Ooh.
Okay. You follow the address that you're familiar with that was on the note from Mr. Keg. You make your way through the city toward the northeast, and you come across a rather nice stone building. It has a wooden facade on the front, and it has written in nice kind of gold leaf letters, Book and Knowles Fine Stories. There's not too many books from the windows. There are curtains in there for whatever privacy, and the upper part is very clean, so Lundgren doesn't have to try to clean them. As you come inside, there is just shelves and shelves of books going all the way back, and in the same kind of hardwood style for the inn. And there is a long table, or not long table, there is a long counter with an elven woman behind it. She has lots of fluffy, kind of wavy brown hair. And sitting on one of the tables that seem to be provided for people to read, there is a clean-shaven dwarf male. He is very young looking, and his hair is just a huge mass of beads and braids all the way down to the back. It looks unruly at first, but is actually rather nice. He has sandy brown hair as well.
Does he have dreadlocks like me?
He does not, but they are very heavily braided.
So like me.
Hey, Book, hey, Noel. I got some customers you might want to see.
Null flashes a big smile, and so does Book, and she waves her hands kind of in front of her face, and then kind of raises them above her head, and Null says, Book says you look taller than last time you came in. You've grown?
Shucks. You ain't gotta flatter me.
She waves her hands again, and she says she always has to. You're one of her favorite customers.
I met some
You're off.
friends out that you might want to talk to.
Moira just waves.
Book waves back.
Aye.
Aye.
I introduced them all. I can't remember all the damn names.
Okay. Hello.
This is Book, as Null sees that Greer's having a little bit of trouble. That's Book. I'm Noel. This is our place of business. Feel free to sample any one of our books at the tables. But, and who are all you? And he kind of runs his eyes over this still rather large group of people that are randoms.
What do we
Hello.
say about ourselves, sir?
I am Mia Moira. It is a pleasure to meet you.
I am Grimly.
My name's Lindgren.
Nice to meet you.
So which
Nice
one
to
is
meet you
Book
too.
and which one is Noel? Sorry.
Book is the elf
Book
woman.
is the elf.
Okay.
Book kind of waves around her head and signs a few more things to Noel, and Noel turns and says, she wants to know why you have a pot on your head.
The pot is... It's an alchemy jug. It's magic. I use it to, like, make water if I need to.
Well, I can do that.
You make water in a pot. You know that's what chamber pots are for, right?
I was afraid you'd say that.
Book,
I can create water. You do not need to have that.
Book signs a few more things, and Noel says, but why is it on your head?
I didn't have a helmet. And I thought having a helmet in my travels would be a good idea.
We must get you one. A proper one.
I've grown accustomed to this.
But that is no protection.
Book just kind of gives him, oh, okay, kind of shrug.
I want to try and get them. They want to meet the minstrels.
And they kind of, Book and Noel kind of look at each other, and a very fast-paced set of signing goes on, and Noel signs back. He says, maybe not the best idea right now, but we do have a task for you that they could help with.
Is it dangerous?
Noel just looks you like right in the eyes. Of course it is. Why would we be?
Sounds like our kind of fun. Okay.
He sighs a little bit. There's a meeting that's going to take place in the next couple of days. The other groups are sending representatives to kind of discuss a bit of mutual aid. We've heard of some backers who might want to help us, and we all kind of want to feel each other out, feel the just how friendly. And he gives you a look that's like, see how friendly the relations are between all of them.
And where do we come in?
Well, you could be security. Sorry, I've gotten ahead of myself. Why are you here?
That's complicated. I can
They're
say
not
that
from
we
this
did
area.
Well, that's
I can
obvious.
say that we did see slavers who were outside the city, and we were concerned about that.
Book's hands flash in a long string of words, and Noel just kind of rubs his temples and says, she says there's slavers everywhere in Gantivos, and you're just now alarmed by this.
We are not just now alarmed.
Like-
It's just we can do something about it here.
Eventually, we might be able to help in some capacity with that issue.
Book signs even more quickly, and Null says, well, we don't need help eventually, we need help now.
Okay. You said you wanted to test us, so we're fine with that. We can serve as security, and then when we prove ourselves, we can move on from there and however you see fit.
All right. He signs back to Book, and Book signs more to him, and This goes on for 30 seconds or so, and all right. Book goes behind the counter, and she scribbles out some other things on a piece of paper, kind of rips it out of the little notebook that she has, and holds it over the counter towards Greer. And you're used to her kind of brusque manner anyway, and she kind of flicks it at you. Not flicks her hand while still holding on to it.
Can he reach it?
I'll come over and I'll take a look at it.
It's folded, so she hands it to you once you've gotten close enough.
Okay, open it so only I can see.
All right,
Yes.
it's another location, and has a passphrase as well.
Walt sent me.
All right. What's the passphrase?
I just made that up on the fly. You don't actually have to remember it.
Oh, thank fucking God.
Should have made it some complicated foreign language, dude.
No, that's for later.
Ooh.
So what time do you want us there? I'll look up at her.
She signs a time, and Noel says, about an hour ahead of time, so three would be good.
All right, we'll go scout it out first. We'll have it all. We'll make sure it's secure before you get there.
No,
I'm
no.
not very good at the scouting thing.
Noel actually starts to laugh, and actually Book laughs a little bit, or like her shoulders kind of heave, and she signs to Noel and says, "Oh no, you're our representative."
Oh, jeez, really? I look at him, just drop my head and shake it.
Hey, if it all goes wrong, we won't lose upper management, and no one's connected.
If it all goes wrong, I'm gonna be back here haunting your ass.
I can live with that.
Hopefully you're
I'll
not
hide
on the
all
wing.
your little hidden stuff you got hidden around here, and you will never find.
Well, you will have to find it first.
I already know where it is.
Book makes a sign that is clearly not all of it.
So I'm wondering, we are to go as representatives?
He's supposed to go as representative. You are his
You
bodyguards.
guys are supposed to be my security.
His retinue,
Ah.
for lack of a better term.
Is what?
Security, sorry.
Hey guys,
Security, protection.
I'm really sorry. I've got a headache that just like intensified like crazily. It's been here for a few hours and I can't concentrate. I'm dying.
No problem,
So
man.
I'm going to duck out. I do sincerely apologize, and hopefully this doesn't happen again because it's been a couple years since I've last had one of these.
Hmm.
Ow. Well,
I hope you feel better, man. Get some
Get
good
better,
rest.
yeah.
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 Take care of yourself.
I love you guys, and I'm very sorry. Have a good night. Just
You
have my
too.
character see something shiny in the corner and he gets stuck on it.
Just like you in real life.
Pretty much.
Oh dear.
I feel better, man.
Peace.
Tonight, as we're 4 people down.
Jesus.
God.
Oof.
Oh.
Oh man.
Ah.
Yeah, it's just us.
You're Noel's
Do you
like,
want to play one of your other tunes?
nah. Noel's like, well, your friend Grimly can stay behind. He doesn't seem to be all that interested. I think I've got a book on dwarven ale making or something that we can talk over. You know, just dwarf business.
No. You don't give him anything good, damn it.
I didn't say it was
He
good.
doesn't-
It's
he
dwarf
doesn't know how to
business.
keep his. He doesn't know how to look where he's going.
And he shouldn't be on this this little expedition of yours.
What does that mean? Does that mean he is not sneaky?
He's gonna stay here. No, he tripped over me in the dark. He should be able to see in the dark. How can he not see me? I know I'm small, but Jesus, not like I'm wearing all black.
I have almost tripped over you, I must admit. But I am not
You're
used
a
to
lot
such
taller
small...
than him.
Yes, I am not used to such small people or things. I apologize.
Would
Sir.
you rather I ride on your shoulders?
Yes. She looks very excited about that.
Really?
If you want to.
Fine. So I'll hop up on her shoulders and I'll
No,
direct
she
her
will
where to go.
pick you up and put you on her shoulder.
I can jump there.
I know. She does it anyway.
Book is very amused at this, and she's just like watching this whole interplay with this big old grin
Keep
on her
your
face.
fingers silent. I'll say that to Book.
She just kind of gives a little like head shake and thing, like I wasn't gonna say anything.
So is there anything you guys need to do before we go to this meeting?
I don't think so. I was just gonna ask them about their books, but we can do that later.
Do you need an actual helmet instead of your pot for making water?
I think it'll be good this way for now, but I do agree that I need to do some shopping at some point.
It's only about like what, 8:30 in the morning?
It's probably you wait until after 9 for everything to pick up, so it's probably 10.
And we don't have to be there till 3. It's probably going to be about maybe an hour's.
Maybe. That's also not necessarily including traffic. It may take you an hour and a half to make your way through there, but also make your way stealthily.
So that would take longer.
I'm not great at stealth.
I mean,
Yeah.
like, not going directly
am
there
I.
and beelining for the secret meeting.
Yeah,
You know,
trying going around
Meandering.
losing tails.
Yeah.
Meandering our way over there.
Circle around a few times, make sure we're not followed. Blah, blah, blah.
I would say like 2 hours probably for you to get there carefully. So you have about 4
We
hours.
got about 2 hours to kill because you said it was at 3.
Yeah.
So we got about 2 hours to kill. About how far away is a good armor?
You're kind of in the merchant area, so not too far. 30 minutes at most.
Let's go get you a real helmet. You need one.
I want to be a real boy.
Until then,
And I'll just mumble and wearing a pot that he makes water in. Gee,
you don't know what else the pot can do.
Oh my.
I don't want to know what else the pot can do.
What else can it do?
Well,
I think he doesn't just make water in it. I think he makes solids in it.
no.
Like
It can make
food?
it's magic. It can make water. It can make salt water. It can make poison. It can make beer. It can make mayonnaise. It can make a lot of interesting things.
You hear from the back, someone said beer.
I did.
Gimli's head kind of pops out, and Noel's like, get back over there.
So, yeah, we can go shopping.
All right, I'll direct Mia to where the decent armories are and make sure she drags him along.
Okay.
God, she's a mom. She's so
I could go
small.
under my own power, you know.
Yes, we have to make sure you are not separated.
You don't seem all right in the head if you're wearing that pot. So we're gonna get you something that
Oh
at
no,
least makes
he's
you look
very
decent.
smart.
You know that
Doesn't
has
mean he
been the
has common
first-
sense.
You do know this has not been the first time people have implied what you're implying.
I'm just repeating back what you said. It makes water. You make water with it. So I don't want to know what else.
I told you what else it can do.
La la la, not listening.
I didn't figure you were. You had already checked out.
All right, so
All
we'll
right.
go over to the armory.
You leave a very bemused Book and a rather exasperated Knoll behind you with Grimly. And make your way through the crowded streets. There's the general hawkers who are just trying to sell whatever they can on the street corners, and there's the more established stalls. And you come to a clearly a blacksmith shop. It's not the best looking, but you know from experience that most of the major high end armorers and weaponsmiths are kind of fully contracted by the military and are heavily watched within Loburn.
This is going to be the best place for you to get a piece of equipment and not attract attention to yourself.
Okay.
I'm gonna put Greer down once we get there.
Okay.
I actually would like to look for something, not here, but in general.
Okay.
I'd like to look for see what the colors.
The colors.
Yeah, what were they? They were like Mardi Gras colors. Now I can't remember.
Oh yeah, the
No, that's like gold and purple and green or something like, isn't it?
Yeah.
so while you're doing that, make me a perception check. Um, while you're doing that, Greer leads you, Lindgren, into the shop. Meanwhile, you don't really see anything. You see like a gold thing here or a purple thing here. You just don't see that specific pattern.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't know you just meant her.
That's fine. You wouldn't have seen anything anyway. You make your way into.
Too short.
Ouch.
You make
Ouch.
you make your way into
Oh,
the shop.
God, I need that damn song now.
There is a dwarven smith and him what appears to be a halfling counterpart in the shop. It is clear that the halfling is the face of the shop, while the actual work being done is by dwarves. Hi, how can I help you?
I'm looking for a helmet.
Well, you came to the
I'll
right
be in
place.
there. I'll be keeping an eye on the door, watching both of them.
Now, do you want it custom fitted, or do you want just an off the shelf kind of thing?
How long would it take to have it custom fit versus off the shelf?
Oh, we have the best smiths around, so it's going to be maybe 30 minutes.
Oh. Okay.
You just have to take one of the helmets, then reshape it, that's all. Unless you have a big head, and then we have to make it bigger.
I don't think I have an issue with having a big head. Of course, that sounds like something somebody who has a big head would say. You got me there.
All right. Come, let me get me.
Yourself.
He hops down off the stool from behind the human-sized counter, and he comes in. He's got the like a measuring tape around his neck and says, "All right, let me measure your head."
All right. I take the pot off so he can measure my head.
Come on. He kind of waves you down. I don't want to get the stool.
All right. I crouch down a little bit so he can.
Yeah, he wraps the tape measure around your head, and he does a little thing. And kind of measures a bunch of other things. Now, do you want it full face, or you just want it to have? You want people to be able to see your face? You want full face coverage? Do you want it to be movable? What do you want?
Let's do. How about with just my eyes visible?
Okay. All right. He might kind of marks that down, and all right. I'll talk to the Smiths. And he motions to some benches on the outer wall. For some reason I'm imagining this as like some strange like tire place, but they make armor. And he goes back and he
A
kind of
Jiffy Lube.
pretty much, yeah,
Mhm.
but it's armor.
Yep.
All right. And you hear grumbling in the background. Uh,
Sorry, but I was just imagining a Goliath walking in an armor, and they go, "Okay, hop up there," and they'll walk under him and start
Measure and
fixing some of the.
fittings. Yeah.
30 minutes go by as the hammering intensifies. And they bring out a pretty good helmet. It does keep the eyes open. And he says, here's your God damn it, you're becoming the shredder now. Here's a helmet that'll be 400 gold pieces.
400 gold. Wow.
Probably should have asked the price for
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Hmm.
just
Is
told
that
you
because
you were.
this custom? It's because of the custom fit, I assume.
We had to make an entirely different style of helmet and modify it.
Okay.
should have asked.
Hope you have that much.
I do. My instinct was telling me to do something else, but I don't think I will.
Just flip them off and run out with the helmet and steal it? What?
No.
Ain't gonna happen
This
with
is
me
my-
here. This is my
I
town.
thought maybe I would haggle or offer them to do work for them in exchange for a reduced price, but I crap.
If I
at
can hear
charisma
this,
roll, so you got me
Well,
there.
if I can hear this, well, I know if he's being ripped off.
No, this is the having an open-eyed helmet that also covers the face is very weird.
Okay.
So difficult to make.
Yeah, like if you look at Salets or Barbets, there's openings for the eyes, but like where for the eyes to be exposed is generally not a practice of armors because it's supposed to protect your face and your eyes, and it kind of limits your vision and stuff. So to have it open enough for you to be able to see is pretty much making something that's not found in the armor world. So they're like, what in the hell is this? Okay, we'll make it, but it's going to be expensive because this is not like a basic pattern.
Oh.
Pretty much you ask for an open-faced bike helmet, and they don't do open-faced bike helmets.
Lols. Yeah, okay.
Listen, you did this. You paid for it.
Yep.
Basically, what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
Also, this whole time I've been looking for food. During the 30 minutes. Yeah.
I'll
Okay.
point. I'll call out to her and point to different food stalls that I know are good.
Okay.
Oh no.
So, there's a couple of places that are definitely selling stuff like kebabs, but what the meat is, you're probably better off not knowing.
She's a cave crawler, so I don't think she cares.
Yeah.
It's most likely rat or something.
Rat burger. It's pretty good.
It kind of looks like chicken. If chicken were shaped like a duck, it had teeth.
That
Okay.
sounds wild. Oof.
Oh, yeah,
Platypus.
she's definitely getting some.
Okay, so that's about 10 copper. And for information, it's 100 to 100 to 100 copper, silver, gold, platinum.
Yeah. I give the 10 copper. I'm going to like each little stall and possibly buying like one thing.
Okay, so there's probably 6 stalls, so that's gonna be 60 copper. These are all like the shady taco trucks you can find in the area. You get like a little bowl of this mystery stew, some little breads, some sweet breads, a few other things. And it's this nice little platter for you, but would probably be a pretty sizable meal for some of the Greer size.
So she just went to every little thing. Is now, as she sat back down, is just like sampling everything.
The sweetbreads are a little squishy, but they have a nice fatty texture. The bread is nice and soft. It's very hearty. The kebab is nice and warm. They just made it. There's nice crispy bits on the outside, and the soup is actually a fortified broth with some spices in it. It kind of tastes how KFC smells, but as a liquid.
They know breads. It helps in spices.
It actually tastes vaguely similar to that. There's definitely some of that, some of his herbs and spices in it, but not all of them.
They got close.
Yes. So Greer, you're watching Lundgren and the door.
I'm in the doorway watching Lundgren and keeping an eye on me.
Okay.
I mean, it's not hard to see me.
Yeah.
Definitely follow her.
So have you marked off 400 gold pieces yet and exchanged them for your open-faced bike helmet?
Yes. If my arithmetic is correct, yes, I have.
Okay, so instead of +1, it'll give you +2 to your AC.
Okay.
I'm assuming you're gonna hang the pot somewhere.
You can have
Or
it
put
in
it
this.
in my bag.
Yeah, bag.
Okay. So you see this very austere-looking piece of metal now resting on Lundgren's head with his. You have green eyes, right?
Yeah.
With his vibrant green eyes standing up behind it, you can see the orbital ridges around his face, and it's a little weird. Mainly because most helmets you've seen don't look like this, but it's a helmet, and
Look up and go and whistle. Sorry, I can't whistle. You go, wow, that's definitely a different type of helmet.
I guess so.
and it kind of echoes. His voice kind of echoes in the helmet a little bit, and he's a little muffled now.
I'll have to get used to that.
No, it sounds fine to you, but to everyone else, it's a little tinny.
It is certainly protective.
Yep, indeed.
Can you eat through that?
No. Well, I shouldn't say that. I'm pretty
No.
sure
It
depending
covers
on
the
answers
lower
you-
half of your face, and you have to take it off if you want people to
doesn't
see you.
lift.
No, it doesn't. It's a solid piece. So if you want people to,
That's why I said it doesn't.
if you want people to see your facial expressions or eat, you're gonna have to take it off.
Okay.
I have a feeling this.
Kind
is
of wish you
not
just
what
went
want.
rewind.
Retcon.
Nope, you made your
Nope.
choice. Now you're stuck with it.
Too late. All right. Well, how much time do we have left? Do I have time?
It's probably
to
about.
eat?
It's like an hour
We could
before you
eat
guys
while
have
we
to
walk.
leave.
We could just walk around, and it'll give us more time to get there subtly and not attract too much attention.
All right. I will eat and walk.
Okay. So you guys are gonna try to take 3 hours to get to the place you need to be.
Yes.
I'm just gonna look like I'm gonna just walk around and just like I'm showing them different sights of different places as we're walking around. I'm also gonna try and keep my eyes open to see if there's anybody I can notice following.
All right.
I was actually going to say, yeah, I'm keeping my eyes out for that as well.
I need perception checks for everyone who's keeping their eyes out.
Ah!
Okay.
Ah.
So you guys go around. You see some nice sights. A lot of the buildings look very much the same since they are all made out of stone and kind of similar dimensions. They're set up a little asymmetrically, but you'll see a couple of monuments of past leaders, a few shrines, other things like that. Um, Generally, you surprisingly quickly eat up those 3 hours, and eat along the way. I'd probably say you probably spend about 20 silver in snacks if you all are eating.
I was say I already got all my snacks.
Nice.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna get anything.
All right. And there's no snacks. My heart is sad. Um,
I got all mine, bitch.
Well, that would have been a light snack for you, wouldn't it?
Yeah, depending. Yeah.
okay. So you
I also
make
gotta remember I had breakfast and then had that food.
Well, it
True.
had been a few hours.
Yeah.
so
Tall people need to eat a lot.
No snacks.
so you guys come to a kind of low, long, almost warehouse-like building. Um, it also has
We'll
like
walk around it first.
it has
and look.
all right. It seems to be multiple businesses or storages, kind of like what we would consider a strip mall, but it has a wooden skirting around the base of the stone. Uh, as you come in, it branches off in a number of directions. As there's like different little offices and kind of like the one's a cobbler, another one's just somebody doing something. It looks like this is a place where people can rent a location and put what they want in it. You've been to some places like this before, Greer, and you make your way down into the basement where there's kind of like a reception area. There's a number of them throughout the building, but you kind of go up to him and give him the passcode, and he pulls one of the shelves behind his little desk thing out of the way and ushers you into a small corridor that leads out into a place that has this large round table. There are a number of different exits and entrances into this room. It's got a lot of crates stacked up on top of each other, and it looks like it's used both for storage of things and also for meetings of some sort.
And I'm
People,
assuming it's also all made of stone.
yes, the walls and floor are made out of stone.
Okay.
Multiple wooden doors slowly open, and people start kind of filtering in. One comes in. He's got dark hair. He's dressed like a man of the sea. He kind of sits down and kind of waits for his place. There is kind of a few. Their chairs are oddly enough all human sized, and so the attendants who are kind of waiting there get you kind of a booster seat, Greer.
No, I just stand on the seat.
Okay, so you stand on the seat. Then this guy dressed in these really kind of horrible looking rags, like he's been on the street corner all day, comes in, he sits down.
And I'll motion the other two to stand to the left and the right of me,
Okay.
with just a few steps.
Honestly, Mia Moyer was already doing that. She can't sit in these seats anyway.
A tall blonde half orc walks in as well, and he takes a seat. Then a rather nice merchanty looking man comes in. He's got like bourgeoisie level clothing, and he sits down. Additionally, there is this very thin man with like white hair. He comes in. He looks like a very rawhide like individual, but doesn't seem like he would be the type to have white hair at his age.
Kind of looks like the people from How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh, Geralt of Rivia, got it.
No, he's thinner than Geralt, like super thin. Then a woman comes in. It looks like she's dressed in some sort of burlap, but it's a little bit nicer. Like there's some embroidery into it, and she has heavy dreadlocks. And what else? A halfling woman in just traditional Yantivos clothing comes in. Like she looks like she's just stepped off the street, and she also accepts the booster seat. A child. He looks to be like 13. He comes in and he sits on his seat. He barely comes up to he's just above the table height. And he sits there and kind of looks over the place. He's got like he's this really tattered looking scarf tied into something that looks like a tie around his neck, and he looks like he hasn't bathed in like 2 weeks.
You know, I'm getting most of these off of the list you gave me, but that one I cannot fucking figure out.
Okay, and 2 individuals actually come in. I should have had this marked in my notes as I flip all the way back.
Oh, wait, I'm. Oh.
Hmm?
Oh no, who left?
Greer left by accident. Or he's back on.
I
Yay.
hit it. Accidentally hung up.
Yeah, I did that.
I was going to ask out of character and go, first out of character. We didn't bring the person who hates orcs with us, did we?
No, he's not.
No, we didn't.
It has to be full bloods that
Thank
he
God.
hates.
Oh, yeah, I have a character that hates orcs too. Not in this game.
Well, he only hates them because he was enslaved by them. So yeah.
My paladin hates them because they killed their husband.
Oh.
So
Okay,
yeah,
so it's equally as bad.
exactly. Anyway.
Now then.
So I'm just rereading some of my stuff.
I'm just glad that Greer over there has notes on these people because there were so many going by I couldn't write them all down, so I just gave up.
Okay.
Screw it. If they introduce themselves, I'll do that, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they'll introduce themselves. Get your writing things ready. A tiefling comes in. He's wearing purple shaded lenses.
Of course. Fucking tiefling.
Hey, my tiefling doesn't do that.
Oh my god, fucking. Okay, I'm sorry.
He has very vibrant red skin. His horns kind of stick straight up from his head. Black hair down to the shoulders. Nicely dressed. He sits down, and you get a little glimpse of his silver eyes behind him. He kind of eyes the rest of the room. With him is a very pale-looking man. His skin's almost gray. His eyes are golden, and he's dressed in dark clothing and a large, wide-brimmed hat. And he sits down next to the tiefling. They all kind of
Bakers, I'm guessing.
They kind of look around at each other.
Mia Moira's trying really hard not to like wave at everyone, like be all nice. She's like, no, I have to be a bodyguard. Trying to be stoic.
So
I
when we're
agree with
getting
that.
started, the kid says.
I probably can pick out who's who in here. Does it look like everybody's here?
The amount of chairs that were set out are filled.
And I know that I'm representing the minstrels, right?
Yes.
Or no?
Yeah.
The old
Well, it looks like we're all here.
salt kind of nods and says, "All right. I think it's time for a few introductions and going over why we're all here. You may call me Mr. Quay. I am a representative of the Sways. I've never met any of you in my life, and I really don't care to. The pauper kind of gets up and he says, "You may call me the Jester, or Jester for short. I represent Sepagrav, and
You didn't give me that one.
that's because it's really hard to spell."
No, fuck you. You should have. I could have just written it down off of phonetic.
You're gonna have to learn. You're gonna have to tell me how to spell it anyway.
I will put it in.
Sepagrave. There.
Is that it?
And how
Oh,
close
okay.
was I?
Not even. The last part, yeah.
Ah, damn.
Oh,
Is-
Sepagrav. Got it.
and I represent
Hey,
Sepagrav.
French. Okay. Sorry. I'm happy.
And we await the hearings.
I also know what that means. I think.
They all they all look to Greer because he's the next one in line.
I'm Greer for the minstrels.
The half orc stands up. I represent the band. And just sits back down.
That's it. Okay. No name.
He kind of. Then he gets back up because he apparently not. You may call me Sood.
Okay.
And he sits back down. He looks like a common laborer. Last one says, pick up his strawberry blonde hair. It's just nicely placed. It says, "I'm Fitz. I represent the merchants. And I think we all have a vested interest in positive outcome." The thin, white-haired man says, "My name is Bjorn. I represent the ancient oath." And he just eyes everyone very aggressively. The one,
I hope you use that description I used on you with this one.
The one with the heavy dreadlocks gets up and she says, "I represent the children of the sky. You may call me Moonshard." And sits
Oh,
back
God.
down.
Oh God. Okay.
Yes, hippie.
Oh God.
I was gonna say,
It's two.
I was
We need
gonna-
more minutes.
I was gonna say her name is Moonshard, and she looks exactly as you expect her with that name, but I decided against it. An halfling woman kind of doesn't get up off of the booster. She says, "I'm Hyacinth. I represent the bakers. I look forward to hearing the following proceedings." The kid pipes up and says, "Name's Tater. I represent the scholars.
Uh-huh.
When we eating."
Okay. Okay.
The
Why are you here?
Oh god, I'm just fucking dying of laughter here in my truck. If anybody was sitting here next to me, they'd be just looking at me going, "What the fuck is wrong with him?"
Okay.
the tiefling looks around and says, "And Svea represents the investors. You do not need to know our names, but we are here to back what is supposedly a very interesting time within Cantivos." His companion just doesn't really say anything. He's also taking in the entire room. Hyacinth kind of sits up a little straighter. Well, I was under the understanding that we were all here to discuss a form of regime change. The tolls that they have been placing upon the people have grown even worse over the last decade. And more people from the poorer districts are being taken and put into forced labor, and they are not coming back, and we have reports that they are being used for a dastardly and completely unethical treatment and use of magic. She kind of pauses and looks around, and Moonshard also kind of sits up a little straight and says, "These furnaces are abominations to nature itself, and we wish them to be removed from the land. I think we are in agreement that such things should not exist." Hyacinth kind of nods. Says, "Well, they are in study. They are quite interesting, but the means that they are being used for are completely out of the question. We cannot be using our own citizens, let alone any citizens, to power magic in this way." Then they start bickering back and forth as to whether nature takes precedence or whether ethical study of the arcane takes precedence. And Bjorn just kind of slams his fist on the table and says, "What of the people who are dying?" That shuts them up very quickly. These governments that you adhere to, these rulers, these new ones in the dark armor, they don't give any much of a crap about anyone. They just have their goals. You should go with your tribe, your family. We should return to this. And Tater pipes up and says, "Yeah, that's all well and good, but what about people who are starving in the streets? I know it's real fun to snatch purses and things, but it's times are tight."
Looking back, do I see on our way up here? How did all the fields look? Were they kind of abandoned?
You know from your previous experience that while there are fields and there's actually a pretty good agricultural presence within Gant Evos, they're not kept close to the city at all. Mainly because most of the cities are set up to withstand a siege, and it's easier for them to ship it in from a secure location outside of the city, so that it's not necessarily going to be right outside the wall, so they don't have to worry about people having a direct access to their foodstuffs.
Well, I'm wondering if a lot of the farms that we passed on our way here, if I noticed that they were abandoned, like maybe they had been picked up by the slavers as well.
Like between Loburn and where you guys were, it was a lot of open kind of prairie land, so it seemed to be mostly things for raising herd animals. Of those that you've seen, the shepherds seem to be doing pretty okay underneath the current circumstances, but it's not like you see lots of well done harvests in between Loburn and Weepingburg, or it's Loburn and Weepingburg. That and the natural dangers that are in that open area. You'll find a lot of maybe small farmsteads that are reinforced into wooden palisades, and kind of like these little fortifications all over the place to protect goods and foodstuffs and other things like that throughout the place. And you know from growing up here, the nickname for Gantevos is as I flip back to my notes even more as the Jeopardy theme plays. You know that Gant Evos is referred to as... Oh, come on. Where did I put that? The land of citadels, or the land of the citadels. And that it's, for whatever
I
reason...
can actually understand that.
Yeah.
I can understand that reference.
Yeah, it's for a historical reference for people who may ever be listening to this. It's like Castile in Spain, that it's dangerous enough that there's known for having a large amount of fortifications in it for a reason. The old salt kind of turns to Tater, says, "It is a tight time, but the Sways will continue to support your efforts as long as we can. We'll continue to supply goods and other requirements that you might have as long as we are given payment and a location in which to drop it off, because we can only reach so far with our ships." Taylor just kind of shrugs it off and looks around as if he's looking for a snack. The half orc then kind of turns and says, "Well, the band has been doing the most to actively fight these individuals outside of the cities. However, even the walls as small as those of Loburn or Weepingburg pose a large and significant problem to our forces. We can't assault too many locations without supplies, and our bases are within the shadow of the spire, metaphorically speaking. What we need is an injection of men and materials. Can we count on the rest of you to supply them, or at least make it easier for the band to get into the cities?" The man from Sepagrav just kind of waves his hand like it doesn't matter.
Thinking back, I'm not saying this in character. I'm guessing I can kind of commit this party to a little bit, but we'd have to discuss it first, right? I don't speak for the group.
You speak for the minstrels, yes, but not necessarily the full group. You know that you guys would have talked this, so you know that the group is looking to disrupt the infrastructure of Gant Evos' war machine, because they're invading Saran, which is a country south of you. You might have heard of it, but for them,
So we're trying to disrupt logistics.
pretty much, yeah. From your knowledge and from what has been going, you're trying to... They kind of line up. The war machine is the government is the war machine. For you, the emphasis is getting people from having tyranny enforced upon them and being used as pretty much chattel. For the party that has come into Gantevos, it's mostly about stopping them from invading other countries and trying to take over their lands.
Because I have an idea, but I don't know if I want to try and express it. Because it would kind of put a little bit more spotlight on the players.
That's why we're here, dude.
You are the heroes of the story, in
But
quotes.
As my character, I wouldn't want to, speak for the whole group when I just joined them, saying, "Hey, we can do this."
Real quick, I'm gonna do an insight check to see if I can see this, like if you're trying to, or like you want to say something. Actually, I think I'm gonna do my passive wisdom, perception actually, or passive insight. Sorry.
That's a
My
thing.
Yeah, every
Every skill has his passive,
has a
yes.
passive. Yeah. So my passive insight, sorry, would be 18. I just realized I'm not like actively. But can I kind of see that he wants to say something?
I would say it'd be quite easy. You're standing next to him, and the conversation is
You
kind of
can
going
see
back and
him.
forth.
You can see him kind of wobbling his head and looking back at you guys, and a small little grimace.
She kind of like bends so she can be at least sort
Kneels
of.
down, kneels
Yeah,
down,
like
and
kneels
then
down.
bends down.
Yeah.
Well,
What do you want to say?
Can I speak for your whole group? I just kind of lean my head back and whisper to her. I have a slight idea that might help everybody in this town, but I don't know how to be for the others.
And she kind of looks to. I suddenly forgot your name. Sorry. The one that.
Lundgren?
Yes. Jesus fucking Christ. Yes, she looks to Lundgren. Sorry.
we're
Name.
we're here. We're here to help, and if Greer sees a way that we all can help, these fine people, I think we should do it. We should listen to him.
It is now canon that Lundgren now sounds like Bane when he talks because of the helmet.
I actually know how to achieve that effect of like the tin kind of.
It is
Ding.
a good idea.
Very good.
But your punishment will be more severe.
Oh my god.
Oh god. I need to do more voice acting things because money. Anyway.
That was awesome, man. I'll step up to the front of the chair and look up. I recently met a group of people that might be able to help us in this town first, and maybe be able to help us with some of the others to disrupt things from this side. And I'll point to these two. These are only two of. Fuck. Now I'm trying to do math in my head.
Seven.
Seven of us all
These
together.
are only
including
two of. These are only. The three of us are only of 7 people. We might be able to do something about the spire or the furnace if we can get some help with distractions and equipment.
He also says, the Sways will lend their support in any way that they can.
I believe the Sways would be best helpful with trying to keep getting supplies to the people. Your supplies are more needed by the people who are not fighting as much. I'll look over at the bakers. We might need some of your help for illusions and maybe a few destruction spells.
Hyacinth kind of nods. We'll provide what we can.
Look over at the band. You can get Yarrow and Jarl to get us a few half-orcs. They must be half-orcs to act as supplemental troops. It can help us as well.
We'll see what we can do.
Same thing from the scholars. I look at the little one, or the scholar guy. Didn't write down the name.
Tater.
Because I'm in the fucking dark.
Tater.
Look at Tater and say, a few brutes to help block all areas, and maybe create a couple distractions in other areas of the town.
We're good. Distractions. He kind of rubs his cheek, and like this huge amount of dirt just comes off, and you see the skin underneath. I'll let you know. Talk to my people. They have
What was the ancient oath's name?
Bjorn.
And what are they normally good with? Just,
They're similar to the minstrels in that they are a group of people. Most of the like Sepagrav, the Ancient Oath, and the Children of the Sky are more generalists in their abilities. The minstrels seem to be more adept at getting information, but the Ancient Oath they fall between the band and the bakers in terms of their force ability.
If we could also get some distractions outside the gates to draw some of the guards out of the city, that would also help. We need to. I will have some of the other minstrels get information on the spire and the furnace so that we can try and get in there and destroy them.
Um,
And that's all coming out of my ass.
Good.
Moonshard says, well, there's not just one furnace, there are 3.
We can only get one at a time. We'll probably have to take the spire down first.
Hyacinth says, you're right, the spire is where they get most of their reinforcements from, especially for the Hell Knights. If only we could be.
If we could clear out most of the city, it'd be great to just get a few casters to just, destroy the bottom section of that thing and let it go down.
Quick point of order: the spire in and of itself is like its own miniature city, not located within Loburn.
Okay, I was thinking of the spire in the town, that little round area.
No, that is referred to as the keep. The spire itself
okay.
is a massive structure. Think.
Oh fuck! I was thinking it was just a keep in here. Then.
Sorry, no.
No.
The spire. Think Isengard from Lord of the Rings.
Oh God!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's not what we're taking on today.
Yeah, you guys the party was heading towards that, and they're like making their way through all the cities, which I now have to draw all the cities. Thank you,
okay.
everyone.
Then what I would have said is take out the keep, not the spire. We can't do that yet.
Okay. All right.
And I blame you for that, Hawk.
That's totally on me. I didn't explain that. I didn't have us on the world map.
I didn't ask. So, and we kind of need the small map for.
Yeah.
I mean, as such, it's not here.
Yes. You would know that the spire itself is like a massive. I almost said teleportation. It's a place known for summoning and like experimentation.
Yeah, so everything I would have said is about the furnaces inside the city, the 3 that we have here, and the keep.
Well,
trying to at least free the city first.
Since I thought you were talking on a grand scale, there is one large soul furnace in the city. There are 3 soul furnaces in existence that you know of.
Okay, I would have been just talking about this city because if we can get this city, then we can try and get out and get the other one.
Okay.
So the
So
rest
once
of the
we
people
can
would
free
have
the
to-
city,
Hmm?
Go ahead, drink. I didn't hear what you're saying. So
I
I
was
was
just-
talking like an idiot.
I'm just like even if we get this city, the people that are here, like these groups of people, will still have to keep it unoccupied.
They'd have to keep it clean, so to speak.
Yeah. So I'm
And
hoping they can
I'll
do
look
that.
at it. All right, back in character. If we can get rid of the furnace here in the keep, and we can hold this city, a small group can move out and get to another city. Free that one, and then we have 2 cities freed, and just keep moving along. Get rid of their soul furnaces, and eventually we'll be able to take out the spire.
Okay. They
It's just a plan I came up with sitting here.
the various other people at the table are making noises of affirmation of this. Side note out of character, these are not only located within this city. Most of these groups are multi-city locations.
Okay, so that's actually even better.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
are.
that's great.
Yeah, they are. Each one of these is their own French resistance.
But only one that's actually French.
But only one of them is actually French. because there are three. Random history lesson time. There are three branches of the French resistance. There's the French resistance that we know. Then there was a really hard to pronounce one that was like the hit squads, and then there was another one that was infrastructural.
And don't forget about LeBeau in Hogan's Heroes.
Yes, about. I actually get Hogan's
I love
Hero
that little
reference.
French guy.
All right. Yes. So they begin discussing kind of who is going to supply what, who is more.
I'll look at the investors and go, how much can you supply for making sure that we have the proper equipment for my companions?
Well, how
and
much
what
would you need?
Want in return?
Oh, we want change. That is the easiest thing to do. This opens up new opportunities for us, but our interests are, and he runs his eyes over the rest of our interests are our own. Your freedom is a side benefit. Let us be clear on this.
I'll need to talk to the entire group and figure out what they need. So I'll let us talk after this meeting, and I will give you the information for where we'll be at, and you can send a messenger, or we can meet you somewhere else.
Yes, we will. We will continue to how was the word? Pump money into the situation for most of you. We will find out what your particular group needs later. The conversation goes. Yes.
See, Miyamura knows something she needs right now, or several things right now.
Hey, I'm just trying to make sure we get geared up properly.
I know. I'm sitting here like.
I want the things.
No, I'm sitting here like I got Revivify, but no diamond.
Mm-hmm.
Can I have those diamonds, please?
Just give me the diamonds.
At least seven diamonds worth 300 gold pieces.
What is Revivify?
You touch a creature that has died within the last minute.
I have
can
that
bring you
as
back
well.
from the
Yes,
dead.
please. You
Yeah.
both fucking need that.
I have that as spell as well, but I also have no diamonds.
Yeah, we need diamonds.
It's time for a jewel heist. Da, 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 da,
We can always
da.
do we can always do like 6 to 8 and divide them between both of us.
Can we
Okay.
find Neil Caffrey in this village?
Yeah, well,
As long as he's not with Peter Burke, we'll be fine.
yeah, right.
Is that a white collar reference?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It
Extreme.
is.
Okay.
Oh god, I want to make a character
I don't even know what that is.
off of Mozzie.
It's a USA TV
It's a
show.
USA show.
Yeah, it was actually
Very
pretty good.
Watch it.
Oh, like a TV show. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
watch TV.
You should. You should watch that one.
Okay.
That one's really good.
It's about a
Oh.
thief working for the FBI.
Okay.
A con
It's
man
like-
working for the
Look.
FBI.
A con man, a master forger, and a lot of other things.
Pretty much, it's D&D in a modern setting. Only it's a party of 3 people.
Yeah.
And he's completely fucking OP. He gets luck on everything.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
He's also a pretty boy, so there's
except
that.
his love life.
He would be like a bard or something, probably.
Bard rogue
Yeah,
hybrid.
Oh,
jack of
yeah.
all trades, yeah. See that?
All right.
As we completely derailed.
Sorry.
So
no,
no,
that was all right. That was a
this
good
is
reference.
D&D. So
God damn it.
so the conversation begins to die down, and I need perception checks from Miyamura.
Would I be actively, or do you want me to use my pass?
What is your passive? It's like a 12, right?
18.
That's your passive perception.
That's my passive perception.
All right.
Okay,
Oh.
what is passive? I haven't figured that one out yet.
Basically it's cause say like I'll use the example here with my passive perception. I'm not actively looking for something, but passively I could see something like if someone was sneaking. or
No,
something.
like
How do you
what would I
determine it?
figure for past? Yeah.
It is 10, or I think it's actually more when you level up. But it's 10, no, it's 10 plus your whatever that skill is.
Yeah.
Each
So
skill has a passive.
Oh, okay.
so
That
intelligence stuff like
makes a lot
that.
of sense.
Yeah, that's why mine is 18 because my perception is 8, so it's 10 plus 8.
Okay. So
Okay.
I'm going to need an active perception check because it's not going to be very visible.
Should I be rolling as well?
No.
Well, to be fair,
Damn you.
I did say I was watching
I
because
think I
I'm
know what
body
this is for.
22.
Nice.
So do I.
All right. The Sepagrav Popper, he has a well, it looks to be like a golden beaded necklace on underneath his rags.
Is it just gold?
It's not just gold.
Okay.
It looks like it's gold and green at this distance, and maybe another color.
And who was that? The
That is the jester.
jester.
Oh, that makes sense now.
Write that shit down. Where the fuck my pen go? There it is. Okay.
All right. The Sways pretty much promises continual aid. The band says that they'll have to get more bodies gathered up. Things are ultimately winding down, but everyone seems to be satisfied with the scenarios. There is a little bit of contention between the Ancient Oath and the Children of the Sky, just because you know that's going to happen, and it gets a little heated. But they, oddly enough, Tater calms it down with very succinct, childlike logic. Then they begin to disperse. First Fitz leaves, and then everyone filters out through the doors that they came in.
I
Yes.
do want to speak to the jester before he.
You kind of stop him. Can I help you?
Yes, if you do not mind, I would like some information. And I kind of subtly kind of flash the necklace that I have.
Hmm. Where did you find that?
Where did I find it? It was on the plinth, right?
It was on the
Off a
plaque,
dead
yes.
bod.
It was the plaque.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
the plaque.
Okay.
Yeah. It was on a plaque outside of town.
Hmm. Interesting.
There was something said on it. I think
On the plaque or on the necklace?
on the plaque, but I don't think I actually knew what it said. So never mind. It was as we were coming into Gantivos.
Hmm.
A
And
man left it there. I do not know much about it. I would like to know more. Just do not mind.
hmm. I don't know any man who would leave that there, but I'm not well versed in whatever the rest of the group is doing. He says as he turns in his notes.
I would
really-
just like information about this group that uses these colors.
Hmm. Well, we are. God damn it! Where is this? I still have to get that out because you guys are gonna have fun with that. Well, we are. What is life? We wish to be able to do what we wish, enjoy what time we have, and well, the current regime really doesn't allow that. But
And by we, I assume the Sepagrav.
yes, we are everywhere yet nowhere. We are not only just found within the cities of Gantivos, we are found across these seas and the oceans.
And your main objective?
We wish to promote life to its fullest. In its inevitable passing.
So to live as you want.
More or less.
Alright. I'm sorry for the questions. I'm very
You're
new to
curious.
this area.
You're
I'm
very
very new.
curious. It's fine. We can talk more. I'm sure we'll be seeing more of each other.
I hope so. I would love to work with everyone here.
Hmm.
I want to make things better.
Yes. I think we all want to make things better. He kind of excuses himself and goes into the tunnel that he was trying to escape into.
You saw what I wrote down, right?
I'm getting to that. Yep.
Yes.
Bye.
Okay.
Yes.
It was quite clear that the investors are waiting for everyone else to leave to talk to the minstrels. Once everyone was gone, the one in dark clothing kind of goes up, checks all the doors, makes sure there's no one in instances, and he nods to the tiefling, and he turns to your group, and he goes, "What the hell, Lundgren?"
So, yeah.
What
I
you
look up.
doing?
It's been
You
a
two
while,
know each other?
hasn't it?
What in the hell are you doing here?
You know each other?
Of course we know each
Yes.
other. Hello, by the way, my name is Nisra Totspa. Hi. And he shakes your hand and gives it a little kiss. It's like,
Name is what?
I didn't even catch that name.
What?
It's Isra Toadspore.
He's a
Sorry. Tiefling of many travels and many talents.
Yes. My name is Isra Todspa. A pleasure to meet you, but what the hell?
We have been sent to disrupt the infrastructure of Gant Evos. And we saw some slavers and a lot of other things. I've taken my helmet off, by the way.
Okay, good.
So I don't sound like this.
So your punishment will be less severe?
Yeah, well, for sure.
Yeah, I need to teach you that technique, making it sound like you're actually in a helmet.
There are some slavers. We want to get rid of them, but it's all connected, as I'm sure you already know.
Yes. We are here to... he kind of looks over at Black. And Black kind of gives another... The council in and of itself is concerned about Gantivos' threat. War has come to Alton for the first time in many years, and they wanted to make sure that we had a handle of the situation, or at least some presence within the lands of our enemies, than just to have them come to us and continue to assault our cities. Since you've left, they've actually managed to land troops in the desert.
That's troubling.
It is. And
Really?
as things are heating up all over the place, we hear rumblings of Ents marching within Senless, and clashes between forces there. The Bone Lord is very concerned about how things are turning out. The push is much more aggressive than we thought.
Yes, we discovered a troubling fact about the man who claimed to be John the Butcher.
What do you mean, claim to be?
We had thought we had met him months ago. We went on a diplomatic mission to help him out. He was a real a-hole. And come to find out that when we happened on the party of slavers, before we happened onto the current party of slavers, we discovered that somebody else claiming to be John the Butcher had been captured. So he had been deposed. And he was highly upset about it, as he should have been. And we were going to try to put that back together, but we had pressing business elsewhere. So we're going to do what we can do.
I, Lundgren, I see your ways with words have not changed. But what do you mean deposed?
There was somebody else on his throne acting like him, but was really not him.
What do you mean acting like him? As if he were the Tempest King? As if he
Yes.
won? Was he actually the Tempest King as he won it through right of conquest as John the Butcher had?
I really don't. Based on how he was acting, I really don't think so.
Oh, okay.
He's saying he was a fake.
Yes.
Like the King of Olden.
Yes. A
Then why
very
didn't you-
similar situation.
Why didn't you just say that? It made you sound as if someone had taken him, kicked his ass, and is now the new Tempest King.
No.
I'll look
it was
at
just an
Lundgren and
imposter.
look at Lundgren and go, you need to learn how to say things what you really mean. You use too many words.
I agree.
He does have a problem with that.
Oh God, hi.
Hello.
Oh,
Surprise!
yay!
It's
Okay.
Fred.
So
Yay.
Tread's not actually
You're
here.
not
He
here
snuck
yet.
in somehow.
Nope, he's at the house. We left him behind.
I
Yep.
would say through his connection through the
Is it within 500 feet?
no, the skull cow. His connection with the
Okay.
nature spirits, he is able to project himself into your heads and kind of read the situation.
Oh God.
No, I
There's a
don't
little
like that.
cowbell in the background.
Dun,
Ba-ding,
dun.
He might
find
need
as
to
a-
roll a will save for what's in my head.
No, he's not. He's not mind reading. It's kind of like
As
the
a
sending
furbolg,
spell.
I find this cowbell fancy.
Dun.
Yeah, well, that was before you were here, so. It's already canon. It's already done with.
Out of character, Craig. I'm glad you made it, and your favorite character's back.
Yes. Which one?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Do we want to retcon that he met us
Nah.
as we were walking
Nah,
here and was just really
nah.
silent?
That would have caused too many questions at the meeting.
Yeah.
But anyway, perhaps
I
this is,
snuck in as a mouse.
perhaps this perhaps this is not the time to discuss these things. Maybe we should find a place a bit more secure.
Well, we're staying at.
So,
This is
Fuck,
not
I can't
secure.
remember the name of the inn.
We just had a secret meeting with almost 9 different groups. People know of this place. Not necessarily people who wish us harm, but I obviously do not trust any of the people here, other than Lundgren. Who are you? Why are you so tall? Why are you blue?
I am near Moira. I am tall and blue because I am a fellbog.
Ah, I've heard of furballs. I've not had a chance to sample the culture.
We are very isolated, unfortunately.
That's it's a nice coloration. I like it. Anyway,
Well, thank
who
you.
are you? And he points to Greer.
I'm Greer. I've been around here for a while. This is my town.
Ah,
You're
native.
just south.
Perfect. See, I told you, Gus, we'd be able to find someone who would be able to help us. Do you see? The other one just rolls his eyes.
Look at him, and I'll give him the name of the inn. This is where we're staying at. If you want to meet us there, we'll separate from here, and we'll discuss everything there.
That sounds like a good idea. I'll try to get. We'll get there when we get there, right? Gus. Yes, we'll get there when we get there. He just kind of rubs his temples.
Oh,
This man is just me
Okay.
and just done with everything.
I remember him as well, I think. Yeah.
We must make our way quickly now. We don't know how many people could be listening now.
All right, let's go.
We'll get out of here.
All
Go out
right.
The door we came in.
It was a pleasure to meet you both.
The one dressed in black doesn't say much of anything, and Issa just flashes a grin behind his purple shades.
I'll go up to the door and listen to see if I can hear anything on the other side and make sure we're clear.
You don't hear anything. You push the thing out of the way. The attendant's still kind of there. He looks like he's reading a magazine or the equivalent thereof. He looks super bored.
Just give him a nod as we head on out.
All right. With a cheesy, like, 1950s Batman style swirl thing, we switched scenes back to. Yeah.
Hey, and I finished another color.
Yay. Okay, so.
You need
You,
to post those. Take a picture and post them for
I
each
was
one
like,
you finish while you're doing this.
so, you guys make it back to the room. Tread, you have had a enlightening extension into the spirit realm with the aid of the Skull Cow, as you had decided to commune with him while everyone else was doing something else. You have been left in the charge of John the Butcher, who I completely forgot was actually with you guys, and he's just been sitting there waiting.
No, I thought you said that he went somewhere else. So I was actually
That
watching
was
the video earlier.
that was Frederick, and that was Brocked who went with him.
Okay.
I forgot about your unofficial NPC follower.
Yeah, we armed
He's
him
just
last
sitting
time.
there watching me meditate, and there's a cowbell off in the distance.
Pretty much. You were. I said that you were rolled into a giant ball of furs.
Yeah.
Under the bed, saying you're very good at stealth.
Yes, that too.
That was earlier.
I am the shadows.
The fuzzy shadows. Every so often,
Have I
John the
mentioned I love?
Hmm?
Have I mentioned how much I love Tread Scala?
Trescal is
Thank
one of
you.
my favorite characters of this.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Lundgren is,
He is
is
my
a
pride and joy.
Lundgren's a close second, but I also really enjoy Frederick for some of the things. I like all of them, to be honest. But Tread gives me the most to work with, and I love it.
I just like weird characters.
That's a point of pride. Thank you.
I really like that you like Ezra, and because he's one of my favorites too.
I love tieflings in general, and I just think he's hilarious.
He is.
Shades.
I forgot if he wore those.
No, those are a new addition. He's
Oh,
quote unquote
okay.
in disguise. He's
Yeah,
literally
okay.
wearing his same clothing, but he's wearing like John Lennon glasses.
Oh
So
God,
he's
now
in
that makes me
disguise.
think of.
So really, for him to be in disguise, he'd have to be in a pride parade.
Maybe.
Essentially,
Ah.
that's what I'm just saying.
So, the rest of the party returns. Frederick has made some new contacts in the cities. Brock is bored out of the skull. While you were waiting, John the Butcher's asked like a few inquiring questions to Tread, and he's gotten very stylistic answers about them. And he's just been like, "Okay, great." You go and retrieve Grimly, who you left with Book and Knoll.
yeah.
The bookstore. Yeah.
And so everyone's back in there, and there's a knock at the door.
I'll explain it. Well, I was going to explain it to those who were in there that we might be able to have some investors to get us some better equipment and explain the plan of getting rid of the furnace and the keep here in the city, and then moving on to do it.
Okay. About 20 to 30 minutes later, there's a knock at the door. Before any of you,
I would like to check it to make sure it's not you know who first.
Yeah.
you peek out and you see Isra and the other one standing there.
It's a pleasure to see you again. And she opens the door for him.
The pleasure is mine. He kind of gracefully comes in. He's still thin as normal, and he's just as moderately flamboyant as he generally is. But he's got some new glasses, which are purple. intent.
Who are you?
Tread Scala. He takes them off and puts them on top of his. Really? Come on. You can't.
I was humoring you.
Yes, you and Gus think that this is a terrible disguise. I think, and he kind of tips his head and they fall down onto his nose. I think it's ingenious. It is not ingenious. It is
What?
ridiculous. And
What is ingenious?
He thinks it's really smart.
and once more, with a solid thud, his companion closes the door. The leather case upon his back has returned, and the Reverend Augustus Black stands among you. He introduces himself as such. But you may call me Mr. Black. Lindgren, what is that? And he looks at the helmet.
Greer here thought I needed a new helmet to not attract attention to myself, so I went shopping.
I see
No,
it's
it was
going.
to protect yourself, not.
I see it is.
He said he makes water in it. You don't wear that on your head. And I just chuckle.
I thought that was just a human thing.
No. It is a Lundgren thing.
You just
I
hear
see.
a deep sigh come from Mr. Black as he just goes over to one of the beds and sets down his case. And you hear him mutter something along the lines of, "First issue, now this." Great.
What'd you say? Because you cut out for me.
First issue, now this. Yes. Frederick, it's good to see you again. Frederick just kind of scowls at him. And who? And he goes over and kind of introduces himself to John the Butcher. Yes. This is, in fact, John the Butcher. Apologies for your kidnapping. You're kidnapping me? No. Never mind. So, how long?
Enough drama for one day.
So, how long have you been
Can
in Kent?
anybody, before he says anything, I'll look up. Anybody want to secure this before we start discussing business?
Yeah.
I'll look around to everybody else, see if anybody can, stop people from eavesdropping.
That would probably have to be Mia.
I wasn't dropping no eaves, sir. Honest.
Just cutting the grass under the window, were you?
What is an eve and how do I drop it?
Like, it is like the best
Just
friend.
talk with your friend.
I cannot silence anything, if that is what you mean.
The door opens, and in steps a young man of Zulthar. He goes, I can assure you that no one is
I try and
listening."
push him out.
No!
I try and push him out.
He could.
You are not invited.
That.
I take a swing at him.
The crap.
Ow! Meanwhile, I need a dexterity roll
Oh, no.
to see if you can catch him.
Probably not. No.
Oh my
I'll
god.
save, but still, it'll be
Oh
the
my
same thing.
god. You rolled a 4, I rolled a 5. he just barely dodges out of his way as he goes, ow, not this again. Not this again. Ah.
You are
And
not
he is now
invited.
stunned for 1d4 rounds. until the end of for 6 seconds. And I shove him out the door.
I close the door on his face and lock it.
What in the hell was that?
I don't know, but that's the second time I've had to hit him.
You just hear this groan from outside the door. This little,
He is an unwanted guest.
and inside on the back of the room, you see Zulthar appear, clutching his stomach, sitting on the floor. It's like, why must this always happen?
How did you? Do I need to call you out?
No, don't come near me.
I'll start walking towards him with my
No.
staff.
No. He's on the other side of the room, so you have a good distance to go, because there's like 10 beds in here.
He is
Anybody know what a fastball special is?
He just narrows his eyes and points even more emphatically.
I don't see a ball around here, but I do know what fast is.
Oh my god, your character's freaking awesome.
Thank you.
Why are you here?
Give me a reason not to throw your ass out of here.
We have business to discuss. Everyone's here. You have been talking.
Can you make it so we are not heard?
I've
I'll
done
just give him
that.
a stop.
I have done that.
Stay over there then.
As long as you stay over
Or you'll
there.
get more of what you've already got. I'll stand next to Myra. Just going, is it okay that I hit him?
I think so.
Goodbyes.
Oh, yeah, Miyamura has her shield out, the symbol on it, and it's like pointing it towards him.
I'm not a vampire. Okay,
No, you are Welsh.
A businessman, yes, we know. Down with capitalism. And you just kind
I'm
of.
going to kind of climb up Miyamura and like whisper in her ear, if he moves, throw me at him.
Toss me.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I will try not to hurt you.
Only if he does something that you don't like. Besides just being there. I already know.
I am glad you said that because I was about to tell you already.
Children, can we get on with business, please? Mr. Black has taken his hat off, and you see he's kind of put his coat on the leather case as well. He's sitting there in his dark blue shirt and vest, just with these strange things kind of strapped to his waist. Yes, sir. Shall we hurry it up a bit? You're very right. Gus. All right. First things first. Greer, I believe it was. We don't actually have. We are not actually
Yes.
investors. That's a front that the council and Kingdom of Olton uses for funding what they wish in certain opposing countries. We can get you money, but the investors are technically never real.
Can you get us some items that we might need?
He kind of shrugs. Maybe. Depends on what you need. Depends on the availability.
Narrow my eyes at him. You're lucky you're friends with them. Otherwise, I'd throw your ass out.
Why? We are just doing our jobs. We will provide.
Lying to the other groups.
We are providing them with. First of all, I'm pretty sure everyone was lying in that room, at least for some bits. Second, we will be providing them with money. It's just that who they think they're getting it from is not who they actually are getting it from.
All right, talk.
Oh, I'm very good at that.
He is very good at
I
that.
can tell.
He does it a lot.
Well, Gus here, please stop calling me Gus. Gus here is and I are trying to disrupt the war machine that has come to Alton. Obviously, I have a vested interest in this because I do not want my home city burned to the ground or any of this whatever the hell is going on in the city to spread any further, and it's spreading. The council is one of the reasons why Mr. Black over here is so far away from home. They wish to break the spine, and he clenches his fist as he says that, to break the spine of this war beasts. We heard that other agents were being used as well, and I guess the council wants to hedge their bets. That's what you do in wars, what you do in cards, and a number of other things, especially if you want to win. So, it's actually quite fortunate that you are all here, so that we can coordinate. That is precisely why I am here. And Zulthar just like raises his hand at that point and then just kind of lays back down. Precisely, so the creepy child who I've seen before is right. It is much better for us to pool our resources and pool our efforts so that we can get the best outcome possible. Yeah. He kind of looks around like, yeah, everyone, can we all agree? Yeah.
Yep.
Good. The problem is, our group is 2 people. Your group is, what was it?
7 now.
What?
Yeah,
He kind of counts up the people. There's more people than there was before.
I know. Isn't it lovely?
Wow, you can count.
Do not sass me, little man. I will kill you.
I just
You can
grin at
try.
him.
You can try, little man.
You see Isra just kind of start opening his coat and, yes, stop. No. This is not the time.
That is.
You're right. Very much so. However, I've not dealt with you, Greer, and you, Mimora, you said? Yes.
Yes.
That you are unknown quantities, and that man, that dwarf right there, I did not catch his name. Who is he?
Oh, that is Grimly.
I don't know him either. I know Lundgren.
He's an incompetent fool.
That the case may be, but I still do not know him, nor do I know you, nor to know if you know if he's a fool or not. However, I know Lundgren, I know Frederick, I know Tread, hello. I know Brock.
Hello.
I know
I
these
can
people.
be your in with a lot of these groups we just met with. As you noticed, some of them know me, and I'm from this area. So I can help you if you help us.
And I can assure
Greer
you
and
that
Grimly are pretty handy in a fight.
whatever abilities that we have at our disposal and resources that we may be able to acquire, we will provide for you in this, what's the word? Endeavor? I don't know. As to that, there is quite some other worrying information that what's the word? He mimes something drastically coming apart. Fireballs, handheld ones. These are becoming more and more prevalent within the enemy's forces, and are being encountered. And we are trying to figure out where they are coming from, and why so many of our technologies are being taken to Gantivos. Although we still believe that it's connected somehow to Sarnicus's treading towards, I don't know, what is the word? Godhood? Yes. But we still must deal with the imminent threat of Gantivos. It is a much more visible threat, as before, while they did apparently capture 2 kings and replace them with fakes. the most pressing threat is the soldiers that Gantivos is sending wanting to surround, and that the siege is still going on from my understanding for the capital. And people are assisting with that, but this is a much bigger problem. A random cult that is collecting magical artifacts is concerning. Yes, I think we can all agree that that is concerning. But a magical army filled with death and destruction and rumors of the undead and stirrings of war underground, above ground, and beyond. That is much more concerning than a man with an ego problem. While they are connected to Gantivos in some way, as we do believe that a number of their agents are being sheltered and employed by Gantivos, we can sort that out after we deal with the rapid expansion of men. So, are you... I've already put as much as I can forward. Mr. Black, do you have anything to say? He kind of stiffly gets up out of the bed and he says, what my associate has said is correct. The present threat of Gantivos is significant enough that the Council wishes to remove it as quickly and efficiently as possible. But we cannot do that, as most of our forces and those of Yignis are being employed in defending the cities of both Sarand and Olton. And now, as the wars or stories of conflicts are growing within Sens, this is a much bigger problem. It seems to be a coordinated effort. I am of my personal opinion, and Issa disagrees with me. I believe that Saronicus has been using these hidden tensions between all these different things to try to create a war large enough to cover his own hide. So while it is important that we resolve this conflict and these conflicts actually as quickly as possible, this is not something that we'll be able to do in the short term. This is a long-term conflict that we will have to deal with possibly for decades to come, but we have to first stem the tide now. But Soronikis' efforts are definitely at the heart of this. But who am I to say? I have only been doing this for decades. No, don't take that tone with me. Please do not. No. No. Mr. Black rolls his eyes and continues. That being said, I go where I am told. I am given a level of autonomy. I'm allowed to give aid where I think it is needed, and I am also willing to put forth not only the financial efforts that we as the investors are supposed to be providing, but also with my own skills to help remove certain command infrastructures that the accents are starting to bother me, that are starting to the efforts that are being spread throughout Gantivos and beyond. I wish to take out the major cruxes of them so that they will collapse in on themselves, because going through the records, Gantivos itself was rather volatile, and before it was solidified several hundred years ago underneath the current ruler, underneath Astrasen, it was very much willing to trade with us and to expand the benefit of everyone. Then it began to close its mind and close its ports and everything, and we wish to reopen access to Gantivos because it's for the benefit of everyone, and specifically for the people within it, such as yourself, Mr. Greer, I believe it was. It is better for everyone if this conflict does not continue. And the best way we can do that is to break them as hard as we can. I believe I can help with that. Zulthar kind of gets up
Mm.
and gets to his feet. You see,
I'm preparing to be thrown. Just in case.
Moira is preparing to throw.
you see, the assistance being lent to the sovereigns of Gantivos are some of my own opponents within the Nine Hells, and they are adding their forces in the forms of Hell Knights and numerous other creatures being summoned within the spire to assist in ways that would not just be a mere matter of men and arms, but heavy magic and those who transcend beyond death in their abilities.
A lich?
There is a lich, but he is the ruler of this land, or one of the what is the word? One of the agents of the crown within Gantivos. This has been known for hundreds of years. But for me, I would prefer that my, shall we say, political opponents be removed from the situation. Now, if we were traveling to the spire or to a specific area around it, that would enable me to summon my own forces to aid in this conflict, which, from what I've been listening in on, is something that you all need. Manpower, or for lack of a better term. Armed forces that would be on par with those of the Hell Knights and the Northern Cross and all sorts of other forces that are beginning to converge upon this plane of existence. I would be able to provide that, but I need the assistance in order to open the door, shall we say, or to get to set up the scenario so that our goals can be achieved, however disparate they may be.
He wants us to summon demons, devils.
I don't want you to. I want you to get it so that I can. There's a difference.
That is the same thing.
No, it is not. The difference
It
is I'm summoning my own forces for my own ends. We've already made a contract for that. You are just benefiting from internal conflicts from a different plane. And if it gets more of the Hell Knights off your back, what's so wrong with that?
There was plenty wrong with it.
Will you take your people and leave once the conflict is over? Here?
He has said he will, but I do not.
A contract is a contract, woman. What part of that do you not understand?
The fact that the contract is with you.
No, that is actually very offensive.
I do not care.
Obviously.
I've seen plenty of contracts broken.
Well, maybe from where you come from, the contract is not a contract. It is merely a piece of paper that you toss into the fire to warm your heart. But from where I come from, a contract is your life. The very life that I live is based upon contracts. If I have nothing else, then I will be removed from my position, just as my opponents wish, and then I will be punished severely, much more severely than anything that you would be able to do. And I instruct my own subordinates in that same way. History, intimidation, insight.
I was trying to get to insight, and I'm using a fucking tablet, so it's a pain in the ass. Joe, does it sound like he's being honest?
From what you can read, he seems genuine in his adherence to contractual agreements. Roll me a religion check.
Fuck, making me roll more.
Yep.
You started. Quite literally.
I mean, celestial.
I don't know shit.
Celestials, demons, devils, they're out there. What they do, This stuff. I mean, whatever they're doing doesn't seem to be that bad. Maybe it is. These Hell Knights seem kind of terrible, but yeah, it's no different than people and elves and other things.
Mostly for the lulz.
Oh boy.
So, this creepy child. Yes, I know it's you, Sotha. Just roll with it. So this seems to be very promising. Not only will we be able to have the assistance of these resistance groups, we'll also be able to have an entire army. It is an army, isn't it? It is an entire army.
There was a question mark at the end of that.
An entire army at our disposal that we don't even have to worry about. It's a win-win. I don't see any problem with this.
I see plenty of problems.
Well, that's your problem, not mine. You see, the greatest part of this is that we win. No? I've seen Zulfa. He has held up his ends of bargains for many things. I've not personally dealt with any of them, but you hear things.
Miyamura just mutters under her breath in giant.
It's not his problem that he doesn't see a problem with your problem.
I know. I don't even know if anyone here speaks giant, but yeah.
Probably Mr.
No,
Black.
hell no. I'm the furthest away I can get from giant.
I don't speak it, but I can read it if you wrote it down for me.
Nope.
Mr. Black speaks giant.
Then I'm essentially calling them heathen.
He says back to you in giant, there are worse heathens, and they're pretty. There's a level of heathenry, but it's not real heathenry.
She looks surprised for a moment that he even understood her.
Well, he is a striking individual, golden eyes and gray skin, kind of wispy white hair.
Fair enough. So she doesn't really say anything to that. Or just keeps to herself now.
As much as she can with Greer on her shoulder.
What?
You said you said keeps to herself. I said as much as she can with Greer on her shoulder.
Yeah. I forgot he was like literally on my shoulder, but yeah.
I think this is quite a successful day. We've met our potential allies. We found out that we have even more. We have more resources at us. Yes. Well, I think it's time to turn in. Don't you think so, Gus? He shoots him just this really man look.
Turn into what?
To sleep. Effectively corpses.
I
No. No, Trent. I know. No. Well, without further ado, we will sure talk to you some other time. I'm sure we'll be seeing each other around. But the Mr. Quay, they were the ones who managed to actually get us in. If you ever need a ship or find your way up north, I suggest contacting the Northbound, I believe is the name of it. They will be able to assist you in ways that maybe we could not, because, let's be honest, I don't know how to use a ship.
I don't think any of us do.
Brock does.
Some of us actually do, yeah.
I do.
We've sailed before.
Brock does.
I have lived on a ship.
Oh, there we go. I did not know this.
Yes. Well, it was an entirely female-crewed ship. I had a good time.
I'm sure you did.
He was the cabin boy.
You know it.
All he did was clean out the latrines.
What is a cabin boy and what is a latrine?
It's where you take a crap, Tread. Brock says.
I was saying that.
I thought that was called the forest.
There's no forests on the ocean. Tread, you've seen it. Frederick says. Are you okay?
We've been talking a lot. It's hurting my brain. There are a lot of things I don't know. Someone said something about hedging bets.
What the hell is your guys' int score?
Total or bonus?
2? Just a score.
It's a 9.
Oh, you're not that bad.
Okay, Common isn't his first language.
Mhm.
And
Okay, never mind.
yeah.
Yeah, same with Mia. Common is not
Like-
her first language.
90% of lizard folk in his tribe do not speak Common.
All right, I understand now.
He is a native Draconic speaker.
Nice.
So mostly it's just misunderstanding words and not knowing words more than being stupid.
So he is a little stupid, just a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
He's an adorable derp.
Yes,
Even
he is.
more so, he is very uncharismatic. Never ask him to convince anyone anything. He will likely convince them to do the opposite.
Yeah, Tread and Miyamoto are in a similar boat in that way, where they come from completely different areas, essentially, to any of this right now.
That being said, someone mentioned hedging bets. I can do something about hedges, but I don't know how you bet on them. Do they need to be bigger? Smaller? More of them?
Let's
Maybe more.
let us use an analogy. The amount of you are all hedges. We need more hedges.
Yeah.
Some hedges need trimming. Some hedges need removing. So we are regulating the hedges in such a way as that we all look nice and presentable, and the rotten.
You could.
Oh God. Oh God.
Should be laughing at that.
I
Are you
breathed-
going to live?
You okay?
Yeah, I just breathed in something. I couldn't hit my mute button fast enough. Oh God.
I heard it as you were trying to do the voice. I was like, oh god.
Then we have to remove some of the diseased hedges, and so that the rest of the garden or the arboreum, I believe is the term, can survive and thrive without being risking their health.
There is a glint in Tread's eye. I understand completely now.
I still do not.
That kind of alarms me, Tread. But for you,
We do not have garden where I come from.
this is art. We are trying to. Are you familiar with food? Fruit.
Yes.
All right. So you know that one piece of fruit, if it is rotten, it rottens the rest of the fruit. Yes.
Yes.
We are trying to remove the rotten fruit.
So edges are like fruit.
But they are harder to eat.
Maybe for you.
Okay.
Great fiber.
I mean, I've been convinced to eat a few hedges in my time for various reasons.
Are we still Are we still talking about people?
No, Isra has definitely eaten hedges by being like on shrooms or something, because he seems like the type.
My brain went elsewhere on eating hedges.
Was is he eating bushes?
That's where my mind went. Oh god.
Trust me, I already was there.
I tried so hard to ask
know.
that seriously.
Listen, perhaps I should introduce you to some specific herbs that make it a little bit more palatable to eat leafy greens. It's a good time. I would not do so now. This is a very bad time. Yes, stop trying to sell people drugs.
Oh, those kind of helps. I know so.
I'm not trying to sell people drugs. I'm just offering. I'm not forcing it on them. It's just.
What are drugs?
This is the third time today. Please stop.
So
I told you, I'm not trying to sell them. Just trying to open people's minds. Please.
Do not inhibit their minds. They need it for what we have to do around here.
it
Precisely.
is a good way to relax.
I mean, it may not inhibit, it may even boost performance. You'd never know. Add to longevity. Open up the mind to another consciousness. Yeah?
It's not right now. I think is what he is saying.
All right. Maybe later. But yes, we must find lodging for the evening. Preferably not around here. Are you ready to go, I guess? He actually does make that noise as he gets his coat and his hat, and he gets the big old leather case, and he straps it across his back. Leads the way.
Before they walk out, I'll go, so you just wanted in here to explain why you were here. You're not going to help us? You guys got anything to give us that might help us get some equipment for what we need to do?
He did
Miss.
say he would help in that way. He said he had the money.
Yes, they did.
Mr. Black just looks you right in the eye and make a dexterity save.
Oh, dear.
Wow.
Okay, you manage to catch and not get hit in the face as a bag of gold is hurled with impressive speed at you.
Not what I expected. Better.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Don't spend it all in one place. How did he become Jamaican at the last part? Holy crap. Okay. And he opens the door and steps out into the night.
Thank you, Gus.
I look over at the little demon. We're done with you now, too.
He just gives you the finger and disappears.
Rude.
I don't like that little thing.
I don't see so.
This has been very entertaining. This is John the Butcher, who's just been
Oh.
sitting on a on the bed this entire time.
Out of character, I think the little demon thing is gonna have it out for me now. I've hit him twice in the.
Maybe.
I feel like he just tolerates it because he knows he could kick your ass.
It could also
But
be
he has a
that.
deal with us.
Oh, he doesn't.
Contract.
He doesn't have a deal with Greer, and accidents do happen.
True that.
And accidents can happen to him with holy.
Oh, I really gotta stat block him. That's gonna be fun.
Oh my.
All right, so
See,
how
kinda
much
nuts.
gold did I get?
It was about 800 pieces. It's a small bag. You can't have. It's not a bag holding. It's a purse.
Damn it.
We have more gold than that. I have more gold than that. That's okay.
I have like 9 gold.
I
Like-
have 4.
Okay.
Brock steps in. Don't worry about it. We're loaded.
Yeah, we're
We have what Frederick and Lundgren call party
You'll see
funds.
Greer. You all see Greer look at the bag of gold and go, "Damn, that's a lot of gold."
You think?
Brock just starts laughing.
depending on your perspective, yes, it is.
I
I'm
do
from
not know
around
much
here.
about gold.
Where the fuck do you think I'm gonna see a lot of gold?
I got you. Hey, I grew up in a mountain village. Before I went
So
Before I
did
went
I.
on my travels, that bag of gold was more gold than I'd ever earned in my life twice over.
We do
My
not
people
use
don't
gold.
have gold.
He's nicer than mine.
I feel like we would have said that at the same time and just
Yeah, probably.
glanced at each other, just
So,
like
Get
twins.
over it. I really do.
Look around. Does anybody else need some of this? Because I know I do.
I
What's that?
believe
For-
so. That
I
is
mean-
for all of us, yes?
Yeah. But it
All right,
depends on
well-
how expensive what the stuff we want is.
Frederick kind of clears
Who's
this.
holding all the gold?
Tread. Tread.
I'll seal the bag up and toss it over to Tread. That's about 800.
Put it in the bag of holding.
Frederick kind of clears his throat. I wouldn't worry about funds. We're well financed.
We need access to actual equipment that we need to buy and test more than we need money.
Exactly.
Perhaps one of the groups there could help us that. She looks to Greer to kind of see, is that a yes? Can they help with that?
Give me a second, taking a bite.
Okay.
Okay.
No, you
No,
must
no,
answer
no.
right now. Do it.
I'm
Also,
assuming so, though, with all the different people that were there.
The fucked up name was the ones that was basically all the beggars and everything, right? Just
Fucked up one.
uh,
The fucked up one.
the French
Excuse me.
name.
the
Which one?
the
Steve, Grav?
Sipograph,
Yes.
they're not the beggars. They are
Scholars.
the scholars are actually like street criminals.
Yeah. I kind of thought like street rats.
Trying to think of
Like Oliver.
Who was-
Street irregulars.
who'd be the good group that we might be able to get to break into some of the more higher end shops.
The ones
That
who
would probably be the scholars.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
scholars probably would be able to help with that, or you could ask the merchants because they are the business owners
Oh, true.
who'd be able to just
Okay.
divert some product. Oops, we lost it on the truck, kind of a thing.
All right.
Whoopsie-poo. 10,000 gold worth of high-end merchandise. What missing? Whatever will we do? Write it off.
Maybe we might want to make a list of things we would like, and I can go speak with the merchants and see if they can divert some supplies to us. We'll still have to pay, but probably not as much.
Do they have access to magical items or diamonds? I assume diamonds, yes?
Well, they are
Yes, sir.
merchants, so
Yes,
there's
that seems to be
probably
what
access to
merchants
every.
like.
So if we can get a list, maybe a couple of us can go out and speak with a couple of merchants, get the word to the ones in the higher end district to get our equipment.
This is very exciting. I've never done so.
It's like food shopping or eating from stalls, only this costs a lot more money and is a lot more specialized, I would say.
Frederick just says, "You get used to it."
Get used to what?
The
Out of
options.
character. This is gonna be a bitch to look up equipment on this tablet.
Out of character. You don't have to have it like right now. You do have like a week.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna do it like over the
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks we have.
Well, actually, I was going to say we have 2 or more.
Yeah. Okay. Although
Alright, that'll be good.
Sorry, that does make me think of. I had a question, but I'll wait until we're done.
Okay.
because it has nothing to do with in-game.
All right. Is there anything anyone else would like to do?
No, I don't think so. Take a
Y'all want to
rest
go
if
out
I need it.
to drink and get something to eat?
Food. Yes.
Food.
All right.
That reminds me. I take out one of the cards I got and hand it to Tread. I thought you might like it. It is very different.
Sorry, it cut out. What was it?
It's a sweetbread that she bought earlier. She saved one
Thank
for
you.
me.
He takes a little bite of it.
Oh,
So, just to point out, I'm not using the term sweetbread as a sweet bread. I'm using the cooking term for sweetbread, which is pig brain.
yep.
See, I don't know this because
Oh,
I just think
okay.
sweetbread.
Sweetbreads
Because
is
sweetbread is an actual thing.
sweetbreads
Yeah.
is an actual thing too. It's a little fatty, a little chewy. It's been nicely simmered. It tastes good.
He'd probably like that a lot more than the actual thing I
He
was thinking
stuffs
of,
it.
to be
He
fair.
stuffs the rest of it in his face.
So it really is not a pastry.
Yes. I was wondering if anyone
Not that-
would pick up on sweetbreads and some bread.
No,
That's what I was thinking. Because
I've never heard that term before.
Oh, it's everything that you don't normally use out of a kill. It'll all be mixed up together after it's been cleaned
Oh,
and
okay.
just cooked.
Yeah, that's definitely something Tread would like.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Trust me, always check when you're out of country. You're gonna find some shit that you're gonna go, oh shit.
And there's a reason.
Tread's gonna dig through his stuff and grab
Down you go, Fido.
like a piece of jerky that he probably made at some point.
Also,
Because he is very, very handy at,
Drying
killing
meat.
things. Yeah, and anything involving meat. And he's going to sprinkle some of his herbs and spices on it. This is for you. You wanted to try the herbs and spices.
oh, thank you. She happily takes it and tries a bite.
Out of character, you missed the time that you missed the fortified broth that tasted like KFC smells. Dread.
I'm sorry, what?
Me and Mara got a small cup of broth that was pretty much smelled like how original recipe KFC tastes, or tastes like it, but in liquid form.
Oh.
Yeah, she's gonna be like, oh yeah.
That would have been great to turn into a mouse in.
They still
Oh,
sell
God.
They still
This-
sell it
this
on the
does
street
remind-
corners.
Oh, this does remind me. There was a soup that I think you would like.
I like the last soup I had.
I think you would like this one. It's very similar to your spices. Oh, it
They
smells like.
steal my people's recipe.
I hope not.
I will destroy them.
Perhaps it is a different. Perhaps it is a different version.
Perhaps. I'll have to try it.
Yes, we can try it tomorrow.
Can't wait.
Oh, we are going out, so because
Where?
it just sucks being cooped up in a room. I was gonna, take everybody out for drinks and such and food at one of the decent dining establishments.
Oh, I thought we were eating here.
We did that last night and this morning. You got to get out and see the place a little bit more. Let people see you so they don't wonder where the hell you went.
Yeah, well,
That is a thing you should do. I was not aware of this.
Tread's just looking in two different directions, blink, blink.
There is plenty we still have to learn about this place, Dredd.
Yes. I did not know that making an appearance was a thing. I usually just go, if I haven't used my abilities, I usually just fly around as a bird.
And about what time is it right now?
Sounds wonderful.
It is.
You have to be
Because
there.
business is closed.
No, there's a difference between like the stuffs business, which is where you're buying your goods such as armor, weapons, and clothing and services, compared to like the food side of things. The food side of things stay open later
I was
than
actually wondering about Book and Knoll, if they would still be in the shop right
they stay in. It closes at 9. Since they also have to not only take care of people during the day, they also have to take care of people after work so that they can pick up their books. Since there's
now.
no
We should also
TV.
stop by. When we stopped and picked up. Never mind. When we stopped and picked up Gimli or whatever the fuck his name is. I would have given them the information.
Okay.
He's gonna be Gimli. He's Gimli now. I don't give a shit.
He is a dwarf. That's
Are you sure
pretty
it's
awesome.
not Gimply?
Yeah, well, shut up. I don't like him.
I don't like it either.
No, you turn him into an Irishman.
He's tries to be Scottish, and I can't really do a Scottish accent.
Oh, okay.
Went from Scottish to Texan.
Texan?
Yeah, I did not even hear that he ever tried Scottish. That was supposed to be Scottish?
He tried it at the beginning, and it was a horrible one.
He's just
And
Texan.
that's somebody who can't do fucking
Yeah,
accents.
dude, right? That's a horrible accent if I couldn't even tell that it was Scottish.
Scottish.
I'm not even gonna try.
Anyway, so this seems to be a wrap-up point. You guys go out for the evening, have an enjoyable meal, sample the local cuisine that includes various different broths for whatever reason. Kind of like various versions of hot chocolate, but it's all meat-based, and it's a little unsettling. And so we'll catch you next
For
week.
everyone except Trey.
Tread is having a good time.
Yes.
So
Having a ball.
we will catch you next time, because next week, hopefully, we'll be doing Shadowrun. And if not, we'll be doing D&D. But the week after that, we'll definitely be doing D&D. So we'll catch you next time. As cool music plays and the lights go down, we'll catch you next week.